All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. Prophet John here. This is going to be a quick video here, and we're just looking at the market. The markets actually were open up about 300 and some points here, starting to pull back a little bit right now. But markets are, the bulls are trying to finally get two bullish days in a row, and this hasn't happened in a while. So can the bulls get two bullish days in a row? This is going to be key, okay, for the bulls. Just and can they close over 25? They got the first win yesterday. They were able to close over 24,681. Okay, now they can try to use it as support, okay, to stay above that line now. But the next thing they have to do is they have to close above 25,000. Right now, they're way above it. They're 231 points above it right now. So can the bull finally close above 25,000? I mean, it's taken about maybe $8 to $9 trillion in the market to try to get this market to close above 25,000. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, you would think $7, 8, 9 trillion would have us at 35,000 easily on the Dow. Um, so all that money going into the markets instead of going into people's pockets or going into rebuilding America, reconstruction of America, thriving America, funding small businesses and things like that. We're pumping it into the markets instead. So that's pretty interesting. All right, so the markets are coming down a little bit fast here, so I'm not sure what's going on, but just watching it. And so people that are wondering about my account, remember I told you guys that my account was I don't want my account to go one of my trading accounts. I don't want it to go level. That account is still it was yesterday was 1,600 away from hitting that level. Okay, now today it's 3,000 away now. So even when the markets were up yesterday big and they're up today, that number has gone up. So that's kind of weird, I know, but that's just what it is. Okay, so that number has gone up. So I'm about 3,500 away from hitting that number. So I want to keep my account. This is what a lot of you people should do in the first. And also, it's kind of like a stop loss, right? Where your account, the price of something drops, and then you automatically sell your position and say I can't risk anymore, right? So that's basically what it is for me. I don't want one of my certain accounts to go below a certain level, okay? And I prayed about it, said, if it does, I got to get out because I can take that money and I can stake ontology at 5%. I can stake or Cosmo at 10% and compound interest. Why would I want to lose that money? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I want to see that money depreciate and then have to wait like 3, 4, 5 months to get that money back? When I can take that lump sum of money, just put it into Cosmos and stake at 10% a yield and actually compound interest. You know how fast I can take that lump sum of money and compound interest it. So that's why I'm really adamant that if my account goes below this price, I gotta get out. It doesn't matter. I don't care about I don't care what I've said in the past about this or that and this or that. About holding this, holding that. If that account goes below a certain level, it makes no sense to allow that money to go down when I know for sure I can take that money and I can stake it at 10% on Cosmos and compound interest like crazy and flip that thing and then within 6 months or by the end of the year of compounding interest, that income stream that would be coming in would be enormous. So I'm not going to sit there and just allow my accounts to drain out if that's you know what I mean? So my accounts are good. I'm in positive territory, but at the same time, I don't want to see my accounts go back to where I put basically the only thing that's in my account is the money that I put in. Okay. Zyno and gas has done well. It's made me a lot of money. the four stocks are still, it's still I know one or two of them are probably back to normal levels, but two out of the four of them are still up. Okay. I think one is still up like 40, 50%, and then the other one's up massively, right? So still up massively even to right now. So so I'm still up on the four stocks, even though a lot of people are like, man, I can't, when are the four stocks gonna, gain their momentum and start rising back up? Even with that, I'm still up on the four stocks, because one of them is up double double, since, or at least a double and a half, no, more than that. Yeah, it all depends because it forked, and one of them fork had a fork in it, or and is it a fork or they had a I'm thinking cryptos. They had a split. They had a split, and one of them had a split, and so I'm thinking of the price that it acts at when it started to rise, for real. So double, yeah. So at least a double double. So at least a double double from where it's at right now. At least a double double. Okay. So and then one of them is up maybe like 50% from where it's at. The other two are like basically neutral now, um, which is a nice pullback there. I did grab a little bit more of the four stocks today. One of them was really cheap, so I grabbed more of that. Just $200 worth more. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to be patient with it, and see what happens. But I do have a limit. I'm not going to let one of my accounts to go past a certain limit, and because I can just take that money and stake it, and there's no sense to let that money go through, and knowing that I can just stake it and make a whole bunch of compound interest and set myself up really nicely by the end of the year, with another massive income stream. Okay, so let's see here. The Dow's up 200. S&P is up 3. Nasdaq's down big today for some reason. Okay, and global Dow. I know. Somebody did a video on the correlation between Nasdaq and the Dow. Who was that? The chart was it? No, not the chart guys. The moon. The moon this morning did a correlation video between Nasdaq and the Dow, and saying that, and then looking at a chart and saying that when the Dow start, I mean when Nasdaq and Bitcoin, excuse me. So when Bitcoin starts to fade a little bit, as it's doing right now, like starting to fade down a little bit, even though today Bitcoin came back up a little bit, but when Bitcoin starts to fade on a downward trajectory, right? It did the same thing last time. When Bitcoin started to fade, Nasdaq crashed. Okay, so they're doing this. They literally are doing the exact same thing. So the moon had a chart looking back in March, and it looks literally the same as it does now in the end of May. So that's going to be interesting to see. That's why Nasdaq is down right now. I don't know, but Nasdaq chart and Bitcoin's chart look almost the same from March when they both started tanking. So interesting. All right. So also, it's time to take your profits in Nasdaq stocks because they did really well during this pandemic, right? Because everybody was staying at home. It was Netflix and some gaming stuff, right? Now the world is reopening. Now that's going to drop by at least 80%, right? Because everybody's going to be going outside again. No one's going to be inside Netflixing and chilling the entire time. So it's a good time to take your profits in the Nasdaq stocks, right? It's a good time to take your profits in Zoom and Netflix and stuff like that because the world's reopening, right? So now we're seeing a correlation where Nasdaq stocks are going red because people are like, okay, I think that they've run up enough now, and let me take my profits here. Okay, we also got to remember that taxes are going to be on July 15th. So at some point, I think after June 15th, a lot of people, you're going to see billionaires and millionaires start to take their profits and to make sure they're able to pay their taxes on time. Okay, so think about that as well. Okay, so by June 15th onwards, I think people are going to be cashing in. Okay, so I have to make sure I look at that as well. because I'm in some of these cryptos, and I want them to do well this week into next week, and then after that, I think the top is in for the altcoins and some of these runs, because people are going to be taking their money to prepare their taxes, because tax season is coming again on July 15th, and people are going to want to take their profits. So let's just see what happens. Going forward here, we're still looking for major events. Oil is actually down today as well. Could oil start to pull back? Oil's actually overvalued right now, right? Oil, because the market, people are just coming back from reopening, right? With restrictions. So oil at 33s might be overvalued. Okay, so oil might have to pull back to about 25, somewhere around maybe around 25 is where oil should be at. Gold is back under 1700. I don't know why, because maybe manipulation. That means maybe silver's down as well today. Global Dow up a little bit there. All right, so Nasdaq is down, but S&P's up, and the Dow's up 200. And my account is still 3,000, about 3,000, 3,500 above where about to my limit. So yesterday I was 1,600 away from my limit. Right now I'm about 3,500 away from my limit. So we'll see what happens going forward. I'll keep you guys updated because if if my limit is reached, I got to get out, man. I don't care what I hold. I got to get out. Okay, I'm gonna take most of that money and just stake it. Just stake it and make that money work for me. And then what I would do is probably just wait to see what this do, and if the markets continue to rally upwards, then I'll rebuy with fresh money, right? So, I'll just rebuy with fresh money and I'll just start over again. So I'll be like, okay, I made money here. Cool. Now just restart over. But right now I don't have to do that. Everything is okay. 3,500 above my limit and things are good. So, but if I get to that limit because the markets keep rallying, then I'm going to make sure I take my profits, and then I'll start staking and make that money work for me. And then I'll use new capital once we get to a certain price. So if the Dow continues to rally, then I'm looking back to 29,000 for a double top. And guess what? I will stack my money and I'll wait for 29,000, and then I'll put money in there and at 29,000 like crazy. I'll start buying at 29,000. Even if we go to 35,000, I'll start buying at 29,000 like crazy, all the way up to 30,000, 35,000, maybe even 40,000. I'll just be buying, and then wait for that big 50, 60, 70% correction, and then get out. Okay? So that's how I would do it. All right. But I'm not you. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm just this way. This works better for me. And but until then, we'll see what happens. All right. So could there be an event that happens today or tomorrow or Friday? I'm watching Friday. Donald Trump's supposed to be banning sanctions on China and also banning Chinese stocks. So watch Friday, because remember, this one dude kept telling Jason at 4 that a global reset's happening on Friday. He's been saying it for like 7 months or longer, saying watch May 29th for a global reset. And so I don't know what's going to happen on May 29th, but I know Donald Trump's supposed to announce sanctions on China or something on China, and also ban the Chinese stocks. Let's see what happens. Maybe Greg Minerino is going to come out and say, "Oh well, you know what? Time to sell all my positions again." I don't know. All right, so I'm watching today, tomorrow, and Friday, and into the weekend for some major events, and just staying calm and collected. Buying. I'm going to be buying silver next week. More silver next week, because I didn't buy. I actually didn't buy it this week. So next week I'll be buying silver. I'll double my position basically, because I didn't buy this week. So next week I'll double whatever else. So if I was going to buy $500 worth of silver this week, which I didn't do, I'll buy $1,000 worth of silver next week. You see how that works? So I'll just double it. So next week I'll be buying silver and more silver, and the dollar still, this is impressive. The dollar is still not falling. Like, the dollar refuses to fall. Still at 99.11 here. It doesn't matter what the prophets have said. Doesn't matter what Bo Poloni and others have said about the dollar and other strategists. The dollar remains strong. Okay, so that's pretty weird. It's kind of weird because usually when we have prophets and prophetess and all these people seeing that the dollar is going to fall here, it usually falls, right? But the dollar says, "Screw you guys, screw you people. I'm staying strong." So that's interesting. The dollar remains strong regardless of what people say about it. Okay, so I guess we'll see how that plays out moving forward in the next couple of days, in the next couple of weeks. Peace out. God bless. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And let's see what happens. I'm not going to come back later today unless there's some major event. Like, unless the Dow goes up like 900 points or if the Dow falls like 6, 7, 800 points, then I will return later this afternoon and I'll do even maybe like a 3-minute video and just to see what happens. But every time I say I'm going to do a quick video, it goes long because there's just so much to talk about, and I don't want to feel like I'm rushing either in my videos. Peace out. God bless you guys. Maybe later today, or maybe tomorrow, or some other time.